Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're going to turn down the lights and step into a world of torchlight, stone, and silence.
We're going back to ancient Egypt.
We are, but I don't want you to picture the museum version, the gold masks and stiff statues behind glass.
No, this is much grittier. We are zooming in, way in, on a single dusty street. Late at night, a door is just slammed shut.
And that's to keep out the terrifying reality of a repressive regime. It's a setting where silence isn't just polite, it's survival.
It feels more like a thriller, really.
Yeah.
The source we're looking at is a narrative chapter, Prince of Egypt, from Chasing Death.
And our mission today is not just to recap a story. We really want to unpack the psychology of a hidden prince who doesn't even know he's royalty.
And the absolute terror of the parents hiding him? I mean, this is a deadly secret connecting a poor family of pyramid builders to the pharaoh's palace itself.
It's just loaded with dramatic irony.
So much. We, the audience, we know who this boy is. We know why he behaves this way. But the characters, they're just stumbling around in a fog of fear.
Walking on eggshells, and the floor is about to give way. So let's set the scene. The hook is immediate. We have a young boy, Zayn, who's just done something impossible.
Something that should have gotten him killed on the spot.
He walked right up to the queen's procession, Queen Aria.
And lived. Which, in this world, just doesn't happen. The royals aren't just leaders. They're seen as gods. You don't approach them.
Ever.
It's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
And chapter opens right after this happens. We're inside the house. The adrenaline is still pumping. Bren, the uncle, he's just slammed the door.
The text says he's looking extremely worried. He turns to Zayn and just yells at him. Were you out of your mind?
Right, and Bren is us. He's the audience surrogate. He has the normal person's survival instinct.
Yeah, his whole thing is keep your head down, be invisible, and maybe you won't get crushed. So he's asking Zayn, did you think it was a joke? You could have been killed. He is just vibrating with fear. But this is where the character study of Zayn really kicks in, because a normal kid would be what? Shaking, crying.
Absolutely. But Zayn? The text says he straightens his back proudly.
That detail, it's not a kid cowering, he's expanding.
He looks at his uncle and just says, I wanted to see the queen. And when Bren pushes him on the danger, Zayn says, I did, but I was ready to fight.
Ready to fight. Let's pause on that.
Yeah, this is a boy, a kid, facing the pharaoh's elite royal guard.
And he thinks he can take them. Bren calls him out on it, right? He asks, how exactly were you planning to take on the royal army alone?
And Zayn's response is just, it's chilling. I would have taken down a few of them at least.
It sounds completely delusional.
It does, but it raises that central question, is this just a naive kid being stupid, or is this nature? Is this something coded into him?
The text really seems to argue for nature.
It does. It implies this isn't just bravado. It's a warrior spirit. He doesn't act like a commoner because deep down, his biology won't let him.
He even says, the royal army wouldn't dare kill me. It's like he subconsciously knows his own value. But let's get to the interrogation itself. What did the queen actually do?
So Bren demands the details. And Zayn says the queen asked for his name and his father's name. Standard stuff.
But then she asks him, what if my soldiers had killed you?
And hits her with that same line. I'd have fought them bravely.
And her reaction, or I guess her lack of reaction, is the key.
Exactly. The text says she fell silent, lost in thought.
She didn't laugh. She didn't have him beaten. She just went quiet.
And if we think about what we learn later, that silence is everything. It's intuition. It's that theme of blood calls to blood. Even if she thinks her son is long dead, something about this boy's spirit, maybe his face, his sheer audacity, it strikes a chord. She couldn't give the order to harm him.
It's a mother recognizing her child's spirit, even if the face is a stranger's.
But for the family, that silence is terrifying. Bren is just relieved he's alive, but Zayn, he just pivots and he grabs his slingshot and grins.
And says, I'll still step outside again to see the queen's procession.
He's completely ungovernable. He treats a near-death experience like a game he just won.
So he leaves the house, feeling on top of the world, and heads to his friend Zayn's. Now this scene, it feels like a breather at first. Just two boys by the river.
But it's doing so much work to define Zayn's character, his morality.
Right. Zayn is the perfect foil. He's the cheesemaker's son, older, 16.
And when he hears what Zayn did, he's amazed. But listen to Zayn's dream. That's what's important here.
Oh, it's dark. He wants to be a captain of the royal army, but not for honor or duty.
No. He specifically says he wants to ride on horseback with Slaves beating drums to announce my arrival.
He just craves power, status. For him, success is about how much you can make other people small.
It's the classic psychology of the oppressed wanting to become the oppressor.
And Zayn just shuts it down instantly. He says, there's no bravery in oppressing the weak, Zayn.
And that's it. That's the moral center of the story. Zayn, the secret prince, understands nobility. Zayn, the commoner, just wants to be a tyrant.
They also have this little back and forth about building palaces. Zayn says he'll build a grand one on the Nile.
And Zayn just says, I don't need your palace. I'll build my own.
So much foreshadowing.
And then, just like that, they're kids again. They go catch fish. It grounds the story. The Nile is their backyard.
It adds this layer of innocence before we go right back into the darkness.
And that transition back is jarring. Zayn goes home with his fish, and the atmosphere in his house has completely changed. His father, Marek, is waiting.
The scene is so well written. Marek is just pouring olive oil into a bowl, a simple domestic act.
And Zayn walks in, beaming, and says, Father, I spoke to Queen Aria today.
And the bowl drops.
Crash. Oil everywhere.
That one visual, it tells you everything about the stakes. This isn't good news. This is the worst possible news.
The oil spreading across the floor is like the panic spreading through Marek. He and the mother are just frozen.
They need every detail. Zayn tells the story again how he gave Marek's name, a pyramid builder. And again, he mentions the queen's silence. She just kept staring at me.
That's the part that's eating Marek alive.
Yeah.
The staring. The mother is just thanking the great Lord that he's safe.
She's clinging to faith. But Marek is all suspicion. He keeps asking, are you sure she didn't say anything more? He's looking for the trap.
Meanwhile, Zayn is just off to wash his hands, totally oblivious.
And this is where the story shifts. The parents are alone. And we finally get the truth.
The deep dive. Marek whispers, I just hope she hasn't recognized him.
And the wife says, how could she? Zayn was just a day old when she sent him down the Nile. It's been 13 years.
So there it is. He's not their son.
It's the Moses story, but darker. The queen herself sent her baby down the river to save him.
But Marek isn't comforted. He says something that just gives you chills. He says, but she's his mother, and blood calls to blood.
Blood calls to blood. That's such a heavy, ancient idea.
It's this belief that biology is a magnet, that it transcends time and disguise and will just pull the boy back to his origins.
But why is that so dangerous? If she sent him away to save him, wouldn't she be happy he's alive?
It's not the queen they're afraid of, it's the pharaoh.
Ah.
The wife mentions the pharaoh's detectives and astrologers' predictions about the boy.
The classic prophecy.
Exactly. We don't know what it said, but it was bad enough that the pharaoh would kill this boy on sight. The queen was hiding him from her own husband.
So this poor family is caught in the middle of a deadly royal feud. And Marek has proof, right? Physical proof.
He does. A royal seal. It must have been in the basket. And he wonders aloud, don't you think I should return it to the queen?
Which seems like the right thing to do, maybe.
In a normal world, yes.
Oh.
But his wife immediately says, never. If you do, the queen, Zayn, and all of us will be in danger.
Because returning the seal proves who Zayn is, and if that truth gets out...
The pharaoh's executioners come knocking. They're trapped. They're sitting on a secret that could make them royalty, but will almost certainly get them all killed.
Their only plan is to wait for the pharaoh to die. That's a bleak timeline.
It's heartbreaking. Marek admits he dreamed of revealing the truth someday, of being showered with gratitude. He wants to be the hero.
But he's too afraid. He has to deny his son a throne just to keep his heart beating.
It's the ultimate sacrifice for an adoptive parent, isn't it? He loves the boy too much to let him become a prince.
And just when that tension is at its absolute peak, the door swings open.
And in walks Polka.
We have to talk about Polka. He's the perfect release valve.
He comes in with a basket all sweaty and grinning. He's got birds he hunted and figs he acquired.
Stolen figs, let's be real.
Totally stolen. And Marek tries to be a stern father, but his mind is a million miles away. He asks, did you ask permission?
Polka's excuse is amazing. He says, my lord, seeing all that ripe fruit makes my mouth water. I just get excited and start picking.
And his philosophy is, if someone hits me, I'll beg for forgiveness, but I'm still going to eat it, even if it's my last fruit on earth.
It's so funny, but it also grounds us. We get lost in the prince drama, but these people are hungry. Food is a big deal.
Right. While Marek is worried about dynastic succession, Polka's worried about his stomach. It brings everything back to earth.
And Marek is too distracted to even really scold him. He just tells him to go. He says, I'm too old to have my peace ruined.
But the tragedy is his peace is already ruined, not by some stolen figs, but by the queen seeing her son's face.
And the chapter closes with this really quiet, powerful scene. The house is silent. Merrick goes to check on Zayn.
The whole atmosphere shifts again.
Zayn is asleep on a simple palm mat. The text describes his silky black hair and sharp features.
And Merrick just looks at him, at this boy who catches fish and sleeps on the floor. And he sees it.
He sees the Prince of Egypt.
It's such a poignant moment, he knows. He sees that despite the dirt and the rags, the royalty is there. The text says his heart was heavy with emotion.
It's the heaviness of the secret, a destiny he knows he can't stop. And the narrator makes a point to say his love is that of a true father.
That's the key. He may not be the biological father, but the weight of his worry, his protection, that makes him a true father. He's the one lying awake at night.
So when we step back, it really feels like a collision of major forces.
It is. You have the force of identity. Zayn thinks he's just a brave kid, but his royal nature is just leaking out. You can't suppress it.
And then there's love versus safety. Merrick's love is protective. It wants to keep him safe in the nest. But the boy's destiny is to fly.
And finally, fate. That line, blood calls to blood. It feels like both a curse and a promise. Merrick is fighting a losing battle against the river that brought the boy to him.
It leaves you with this question of inevitability, doesn't it? Merrick can hide the seal, he can lock the door, but if a boy's nature is to walk into the fire, can you really save him from who he is?
That's the tragedy. He's trying to save Zayn from the Pharaoh, but really he's trying to save Zayn from himself. And the truth, in these stories, it has a way of burning through.
A boy who wants to fight the royal army isn't going to be happy fishing in the Nile forever. It's a chilling thought to end on.
The secret is out there. The queen suspects, the father knows, the boy is ready to fight, and the Pharaoh is waiting.
We'll be keeping an eye on the Nile. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the shadows of ancient Egypt. Until next time, watch where you step in the dark.
And maybe ask permission before you pick the figs.
Good advice. See you next time.